your album, Appetite for Destruction, is pro-drugs.
It's a Guns N' Roses record. In other words, it's what our Guns N' Roses, 5 kids who pretty much don't have, you know, a whole lot of influence on the rest of the world as far as we know.
Right.
You know, an album based on, you know, the daily lives of 5 kids, basically. You know, it's not pro or con anything. It just says this, it says that. And, you know, in the general scheme of things, it's not all that important, you know.
It's a story about 5 guys. I mean, it's a true story about 5 guys going through the ringer of Hollywood, you know. And so all things that are talked about on the record are true things, you know. You go through the ringer whether you like it or not.
When I listen to the record, I get the opposite feeling. I think it's more anti-drug.
It's a slice of reality is all. That's, you know, cut and dry. That's what it is, you know. We would be the last guys going and pushing drugs on somebody, you know.
I don't want to be one of those people that's like a heavy influence on, you know, people's character and stuff like that, you know. I mean, I wouldn't mind being remembered as being a good rock and roll band, and all that stuff, and having kids remember you for that, or you know, adults in the future going, yeah, you know, Guns N' Roses was something that I believed in when I was a kid. But as far as like influencing people about, you know, about working or doing drugs or, you know, whatever, you know, bands have an influence on, I wouldn't really want to be part of that because we're not making any kind of a statement. We made no effort in that direction, so I don't.
Also, I think kids are, I mean, I know I was, and I was just an average kid, you know. When I was 13 to 15 years old, I was smart enough not to, you know, you don't take everything seriously, you know. You don't listen to a punk rock band or something, and one of the guys dies, and it's cool, and it's you know, and you don't think, oh, it's cool, I'm gonna go do drugs now and die too. You know, it's like a joke. You don't even think that way, so I think kids are smart enough to know what's what.
On you, I read that you were quite astonished that people were interested in how you personally felt about things and were more interested in the members of the band and what they did off stage than the actual music. How have you handled being in the public eye? What has this taught you about being a celebrity?
When it's all said and done, you're just 5 regular guys. You're just a band, you know. And the fact that you became popular enough to get in the public eye and be part of the media and all that crap, you know, it doesn't mean you have to change your personality or anything like that. And you just go in, you know, as far as I know, you know, I mean, a lot of bands probably, you know, don't believe in what I'm saying. You know, they go in, they get their makeup together, and they get their hair together, and they get their clothes together, and they come in and they put on a little act and all that crap. But I mean, for us, it's just like, you know, if we're gonna have to do an interview or something, we just go in as us.
Are you starting to feel like you have no control over your own image, or the things getting out there that really upset you?
Before we got signed to a record label, before we got signed to Geffen and all that, we basically we're doing what we're doing now, and then when the record labels got interested, we said, well, you know, we weren't looking for a record deal, so we're not gonna, you know, change anything around as far as you're concerned. So we just went in and signed to the label that was gonna accept us as is. And we haven't changed anything. You know? And now that the album's sold like 1.5 million, you know, that's sort of like the kind of thing where if anybody asks us to, we can say we don't have to. We already proved ourselves.
This sudden amount of attention from the press, were you surprised by the kind of reaction you got from your first album cover?
How it came about, it was a joke. Axl brought this postcard with that on it by this painter, Robert Williams. And we didn't really want to hassle over album cover. It wasn't like we wanted to, you know, get our picture on the cover of the album just so you could see yourself on the cover. We just didn't want to hassle over it. It's like, okay, we were all laughing, you know? Fine, record cover, let's go. Let's get it over with. And personally, I mean, myself, I don't think any of us saw anything wrong with it.
Wasn't that the reason that you put that on the front cover, was to get some shock value out of it?
Not to sound stupid or naive or whatever, or closed-minded, we didn't see any rape thing going on. It was like exactly what he said. It was a robot Fender getting robbed, you know, and she got knocked against the fence, you know. It could have
her bra fell off. What?
with her panties around her ankles, I would say definitely that is rape imagery.
No.
Okay, all right, fine. It was about, we were generally promoting rape.
Yeah. I mean, if you think we're generally promoting rape, you know.
I mean, come on.
You know, for somebody to see it like that, I could easily get on you for seeing it as a rape. Where, you know, prove it was rape. You know?
Where do you
where do you think it was rape?
I understand you've been blowing the headlining acts right off the stage.
We don't go out there just like to blow away the headlining act. That's not the point. But some of the headlining acts are sort of boring.
When we go out on stage, it's really very much uncontrived, you know. We just go out there and wing it every night, you know. There's no choreography or anything like that, you know. We don't plan really on what our set's going to be like. And it does change every night. So I think probably people feel the liveness, you know, and the dangerousness of it.
How's the opening slot with the Iron Maiden tour going?
Okay.
It
sucks.
Oh, no. Why?
No, Iron
We
Maiden's
get no
great,
sound checks.
but
They're nice guys, but their crew is just really slow and disorganized.
Yeah, they've got this major stage production happening, and this is the first time we've ever been on the beginning of a tour with another band. So this might happen with every band. So it's nothing against Iron Maiden. It's just that their production's not together, and we never get sound checks, and their monitor guy doesn't work for us, so he doesn't know what we want. And it's just been sort of like a disaster.
Oh.
But we're
Slowly
basically,
but surely.
yeah, pulling it off. And the other thing is that it's like two sides of the coins as far as music goes. You know what I mean? It's like Iron Maiden sings about Vikings and Gothic influence, and this and that, and dragons and stuff. And we just basically just hang out. So,